Welcome to Treya Tarot. This is the collective reading for Monday, July 1st, 2024. I've shuffled the cards and I'm just going to split them to get started. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I can sense that there's definitely some shifting happening right now. I'm in it myself, so. Okay, so the Ten of Swords, that's the pattern. That's the self-inflicted wound. That's the beating yourself up or continually doing the same thing, hoping for a different outcome. But that's leaving us. I think most of the energy that I've been able to pick up over the weekend was all about processing out experiences we're very familiar with, but in a new way. So if you've experienced anything coming up that feels really familiar, but you're just not handling it with the same amount of disruption that you would normally have experienced in the past, then this is where that's coming from. It's old, it doesn't suit us anymore, and we're moving on. And we're moving on no matter what the cost, which is the interesting part. It seems that we're all really, or we can be, I mean, I guess this is a choice, but we can be in connection with the cost of our actions a little bit more closely right now than we may have been in the past. That Five of Swords energy, for me, really is about weighing the group versus the self. What's good for everyone versus what's good for me. Karma. Karma's coming up big. I had some intuitive moments this weekend that made me very clear on the fact that karma's coming for us on some level, but it's a good type of karma. It's the type of karma that shows us where we've made the breakthrough. It shows us where we still have something to learn. So I feel like the overall shift is something super positive, but it's definitely has the potential to put us in contact with the things we're really uncomfortable with. And the Ace of Cups, if you're into tarot, you know what that means. That new beginning, that new sense of fulfillment, that new creative expression, a new connection with your intuition. It's all things Venus. And right now we have a lot going on. If you're into astrology, you know that there's some interesting things happening with Venus. And it has the potential to put us in contact with where we value beauty and how to include that in our experience and what's really true, what really fulfills us, things like that. The Lovers, there's partnership, choices to be made. The Hermit. Again, there's an echo here of that Five of Swords energy, that self versus community or partnership. If there's anyone out there who has spent a lot of time alone to figure stuff out, or because of past hurt or something like that, you're about to come up to the choice point between, do I want to let someone into my life or people into my life? This could also be groups. Or do I want to keep, being a lone wolf, so to speak? Do I still want to be the loner and proceed with that sort of, inner reflective state that I've been working with so far? But keep in mind, that brings you up to things that might feel like loss. The Five of Cups is beautiful to me because if he would just turn around, and look at what's still standing, if he would pay attention to all the things that have been built, all the beauty that is still surrounding him, but he's so focused on the thing that he lost that he's not moving. And I feel like we're at that point. That's where your choice point is kind of focused. So, what is your pattern in relationships? What is your pattern in community? Have you sabotaged yourself in the past, not giving yourself a real chance to make connections? Or on the flip side of that, have you rushed into connections that always end up being difficult or end up in loss? Those are the questions that I see coming up. Four of Cups, the dream. But can you make it real? Queen of Cups. Ooh, I like this. There's a really clear thread here of being released from an old pattern in such a way that it feels beautiful, that there's this sort of moment of bliss or peace and beauty. The Queen of Cups for me always reflected that sort of intuitive space, because I know that she's also about love and reception and receptivity, things like that. But she's the intuitive beauty. She is the embodiment. She's got that Venus quality there. Of all things sensual and beautiful and pleasant, pleasurable, all of those words that you might think of with Venusian things, you know. I'm happy to see that there's nothing here that talks about restriction, excuse me, or being really cautious of overindulgence. That's really nice to see, because I feel like we all deserve this moment, this touch point of that sense of beauty before we proceed forward with what's happening in our world, in our lives. I think it's really important that we get a sense of, you know, what matters to us, what's important, what feels good. I'm just going to pull 3 from my Morgan-Greer to kind of clarify. Okay, so there's definitely some partnership moments coming up. I feel like some people who may have thought that they would never be partnered are about to find their partner. Page of Pentacles into the past. There's this sort of letting go of these thoughts about, you know, how things have to be. This is how you do things. Thoughts like that, or shoulda, woulda, couldas kind of thing. That's leaving. I wonder if there's people out there thinking about how to be more themselves in the world in a way that releases them from structures that feel really outdated. I find that interesting that that would come up, because there's also Saturn retrograde happening. And most people find Saturn to be really restrictive, but I personally really love Saturn, even though it tends to bring delays for me personally. So I'm wondering if there's anyone out there experiencing some Saturnian stuff, delays, hiccups in things that should have been smooth, you know, processes or experiences that should have gone smoothly because they were pretty straightforward, seem to get delayed or what's the word I'm looking for? Just destabilized, I guess. Moving slower with more care is always good in those types of situations. But King of Cups and Strength, it feels like this energy today is all about taking the risk to feel something good, taking the risk to care about someone else, to take care of others, to take care of what you love, what you find beautiful, which also came up in a conversation with a friend over the past couple of days. There's definitely that experience of, what do you care about? And if you care about it for real, are you taking care of it? So this is good energy for today. I hope everyone gets their breakthrough moment and feels that release, that putting the past to rest kind of experience, if they want it. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.